1, 2, 3.
Cocks don't pop at all, poppycock cocks do poppy by four. And that's why all the folks on poppycock keep poppycocks in a jar. But once I met a girl on poppycock back in the poppycock hills, they won't let me back on poppycock, reckon they never will. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. The earth don't spin at all on poppycock, flatter than a hot roadkill. And beer don't stick to balls on poppycock, reckon it never will. Once I met two folks on poppycock, one bald, the other likes cats. She wild as a rosy, quicker than a satellite, no poppycock about that. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Take it, Trey. Sheep don't like to flock on poppycock, ain't no poppycock pens. You might just find yourself on poppycock, waking with a poppycock kin. And poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Why so freaking early? Poppycock, you and me.
Oh, how are you, Poppy Peepers? It's good to see you, my friends. Oh, you guys are all so nutty. It's great to see you. And if you have been, unless you've been under a rock, you know what's been happening, what we're talking about today. Good morning, Karen B. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing you.
Good. You're just getting some coffee into you?
I've been drinking coffee already for a little bit now,
Okay.
for about an hour or so.
Okay. I know that David Weiss is afraid of coffee now.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, he has PTSD from being roofied by you, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. He said it would be okay, and it wasn't. It wasn't any, more for him than for anyone else. I had six of those cups of coffee and about 15 gummies on Friday. So I was hired in draft butt. Saturday didn't fare any better. I did I think 75 total gummies throughout the day, and some chocolate. Mushroom infused chocolate. So that was a good time.
Chocolate? Ooh, I missed that one.
Yeah, there was I had some shroom chocolate, and it was really good. And it okay. Here's the story. So just see, I'm laughing already. I'm blushing. So just between acts there, I went out and talked to Chief Crow, and I asked him how he'd like for me to introduce him. And so we had a little chat about that, and he said at that point, it'd be great if everybody grabbed some shrooms, and they'd kicked in just the time I hit the stage. Can you arrange that? And I went, well, I don't know about everybody else, but I think the timing's going to work out for me. and then he's like, well, how about the last couple of songs you come up and play with me? I'm like, really? So I was so honored and delighted, truly, that he asked. I love Chief Crow. He is a remarkable artist. And
Yes.
oh yeah, so I was so honored and shocked that he asked me to sit in with him, and I did. And so yeah, I was just hitting just about then. If you watch any of the if you watch any of those streams, you can see that I am smiling.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't eating mushrooms, and I was smiling.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. I saw. It's funny. I watched your stream later, and again, a little bit different angle. And I loved your question about 4.5 minutes, and you're like, "Why? Why are you not here?" I'm like, Best question of the day. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? You need to rethink some of your decisions."
I don't know. Did you all doubt me? Did you guys doubt? Did you doubt that I could throw a good party? This is like one thing I can do.
Not I. I have, oh, ye of little faith.
That question.
Oh, ye of little faith. So I realize that there are some that could not join due to travel things. I mean, those in Australia are going to find it a little bit challenging to make the trip. I understand that. But for those of you in any semi-decent, reasonable proximity, well, of course, on the other hand, we only want the cool ones, right? Because I noted on one of the streams that I put up, somebody said, "Oh, LOL, I'd have fallen asleep at this show." I'm thinking, well, not unless you had 6 Baldini Montequilla Verde coffees, or you're not the kind of people we want there anyway. We wouldn't have let your kind in. So there, because only the cool kids get to make it, and cool kids there were. Oh my! You guys are going to have to really, I think, just humor me for a minute or a while, because as blown away as I was by Flattoberfest, and I was, as you recall, Karen, you know, I was very nervous and very uncertain about what might occur. Not having been out in the public for a while, and with all the concerns, that I have, and there are many, what it would be like, and it was so profound and life changing. It's not too big, not an overstatement. It really did. Being in that kind of situation with that kind of people was so enlightening and so encouraging that. This event, well timed, just as the shine was coming off the last one, right? And you find yourself struggling in the world again, going, "Oh fuck, man!" And then the opportunity to meet with people again. So this time I took some additional, time to be able to spend with people, and as again, you were so prescient and. To just like last time, you made it less about the presentations and more about the conversations, and allowed for that. And this time was entirely about that. Just that. Oh my gosh.
Some good times, some good entertainment.
Oh man, I don't have enough good things to say about it, so you're gonna have to.
Beautiful, talented flat earthers that we have in our community. I mean. They're amazing. Everybody's amazing. Can I just say that when you guys covered Pink Floyd's The Wall, I was completely blown away. It was like you guys had rehearsed that shit like a whole bunch of times. It was so good.
No,
I just loved
it. Yeah,
loved it.
That we did too, right? So we're just setting up and getting a sound check Friday while everybody was up at the park, and just kind of figuring out what can we do that and we didn't want to get anything too complicated, right? Because we didn't have any chance to rehearse anything. But yeah, Jason threw that out there and said, "Hey, how about I did a slow arrangement of this," and we all went, "Oh yeah, 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 let's do that." And so we just did the changes real quick. But other than that, there was no rehearsal of it, right at all. Same with me coming out and playing with Chief Crow. There was no real rehearsal, and same with all the jam. It's just that people, when you get people with talent and on the right wavelength. Right, in the right frequency, and it just works. This is what we saw, I think, all weekend long with everyone. Again, you guys gonna have to humor me, I'm afraid, because I don't have enough to say about the observations that I made and the conversations that I had with so many amazing people that were again, one of the thoughts I had Friday afternoon was that the quality of people is so amazing, right? That every single one of these people, right? And we're all a little weird, right? Some weirder than others. So okay, that's a given. But the quality of everybody is every one of these people, any one of them, you would definitely want to be your neighbor, right, or a coworker, one of your best friends. And we got a whole group of these people, and the media is trying to make us out to be the worst scum of the earth, nana killers, domestic terrorists. Right? Mm-hmm. We want to wreck the world. And it's so upside down. I mean, maybe David Weiss wants to wreck the world. Maybe Brian Staveley's interested in that, but no. It's so upside down. And some of the things that I observed, one of the same things as I saw the 20th in Shelton, right, was that no one was staring into their phone all day. I mean, they came out to take photographs and, to stream and that sort of stuff. But no one was staring into their, little black screen of death. Everybody was smiling. Look at this. There was one person, I think, not ironically, wearing a mask. But to my knowledge, nobody harassed that person or made them feel bad, right? Just, I think some curious looks like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But I was really proud of the fact that, people were cool about that, right? It's like, you do you. That's all good. Just an enormous amount of fun and such great people. I can't get over that. And the amount of, one of the things I was talking to Scott Jepson about, who was fairly new in the truth community, and he got hooked up with Jenny Mikowski in the chat. That he was kind of feeling alone, as so many people do, and so he wanted to find somebody in his neighborhood, and he reached out to me, and so I hooked them up, and they've been fast friends since, and they came, as well as Jenny's man candy. He came along as well. Lots of people brought friends and relatives and puppies and all kinds of friends. But so he came, and he's kind of jumped in with both feet, and super proud of him for really embracing the whole thing. And a conversation that he and I were having out in the smoking lounge, where all the cool kids were, is that one of the things that had impressed me was the number of stories that I heard, and how everything lined up perfectly for them to come. And so the confluence of that many people who were walking in and surfing the wave of the universe, right, in connection with the universe, you can absolutely see it in the smiles on all these faces, that it's not a coincidence, right? It's not by mistake, that everyone who came, and to be together, right, and to make the kind of impact that was made there. And the oh man, the positive energy and goodwill, and I'm going to say it, love that was there, that's just off the charts. Goes to 11. Goes to 11.
Yeah.
I should have set up a tiny Earl or a big Earl this morning for stories from the from the show. I know many people are still there, still soaking it in. I wish I was. It almost happened. It almost happened.
Yeah, you almost got another day.
Yep, but I'll be back soon. You know it. So you can't stop it. You can't stop it from happening.
No, not if I have anything to say about it.
Right. Or Cammie, right? Or Ted.
That's right. Or anybody else.
It's a conspiracy, apparently.
Yes, that's right. There's definitely three or more of us.
Yeah, definitely a conspiracy going on for sure. And then I was so jealous because after having left and made some biscuits and gravy, and it was going to be some green gravy, but somebody walked off with the last inch and a half or so of that green butter and your mason jar. I was disappointed by that. But
mason jar. I'm like more upset about the mason jar.
I just, I don't think that was one of our tribe because I think, because it was up at the park. And so I don't think that was one of us because or later, right, as we were kind of closing down at the park and I was trying to get everything, all the coffee stuff, out of there, I had to put it all in boxes and stuff. And every time I'd turn around, one of them was gone. I'm like, oh dear, they're all, everything's disappeared. And again, I'm super high. It's like, oh no, what's happening? But what it was all the boxes that were being grabbed and picked up were being grabbed by people who wanted to help, and so they just all found themselves right down where they needed to be at the venue. And I was just thinking, what great people we have, right? We don't have to worry about our shit. And then again, of course, that happened. Somebody grabbed your mason jar, but again, I don't think that was one of our tribe. Because
I don't, probably not.
Because somebody came up and as soon as they found a phone in the ladies' restroom, right, they immediately took it to you and said, "Hey, we found this phone." Super duper high. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. It's not normally my way. I mean, I enjoy a little herb from time to time. I got a little vape kit, just a little snap here and there. But I rarely get high. Again, same with drinking. I will have a drink. I just normally don't. But I did on Saturday. I had a couple of drinks as well. I just decided to have fun, let my hair down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, proverbial.
I could do later on. Later on, I had a few drinks, and then obviously Chief Crow was playing, and that's when I live stream, and
yeah,
I was a little buzzed. But it was fun. I was having a good time. I was enjoying it.
Yeah, you were.
Enjoying the fruits of my labor.
Absolutely. And well deserved, right? I mean, God, what a terrific time. And I gotta say, I just had the biggest time, both, really by Friday night after I'd had 45 minutes or so jamming with the guys who showed up to play, I could have left and been done. I was like, good. That was such a blast. And then we got to do it again on Saturday with everybody else there. So it was all that much better. And I got to play with Chief Crow as well. So that was just, again, so much fun. But hats off again to Rico Tinfoil Sombrero and Griff and PRD, Paul, and all the guys that, Jason and all the guys who came out and played, sat in, again, no rehearsal at all. Just the vibe, right? And sitting in and just having a great time. There was another cat that showed up. So I love Griff, man. His bass playing is really just off the hook. Excellent work. And there's another guy showed up with a ukulele, and I don't know why. He didn't sit and jam with us. Maybe I think he was a little late or something. And but he and Griff were outside much of the rest of the time, just playing, even after it was over. Oh yeah, hey Spicy Sierra. That Griff belongs to Spicy Sierra. They're a pair.
Yes, that's right. Shout out to Spicy Sarah and Griff.
Yep.
Rio Salsa.
Awesome people. Again, everybody I met. Rob Cleveland, man, that guy could brighten up the darkest room. Just like, in fact,
everybody is just freaking awesome.
Yeah, they are.
This is why this venue likes us so much. They love us. This is why they gave us that date that got canceled so we could do this here, because everybody that shows up is really cool and upbeat and high vibes, high mind. It's great.
In fact, I talked just briefly. I kept going back for gummies on Saturday. I think I ended up at about 75 gummies.
75?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
How much was in each one? Was it, whose gummies? Was it Joel's?
Yeah, it's back there next to Nemo. So it's, back there by the snack table, right at the far corner.
Okay.
Yeah, so she had a big thing of gummies back there.
Yes.
Yes, and
I had a couple of those.
Yeah, so I had a couple of them, and then I had a couple more, and then I had a couple more, and then I had a handful, and then and then I started counting just to see where I was at, and then I kept having more, and and it was good, and behold, it was very good.
Baldini was higher than a NASA balloon.
Yes. I can neither confirm nor deny. Oh my gosh. One of the things that I felt like we failed at this time, though, which was nearly nothing, but one of the things I think that we failed at was one of the big moments for me of Flattoberfest was when we asked how many people is this your first time coming? And it was like 65%. I was just blown away. And for me, I had to raise my hand too because it was my first time at a real meetup. I had gotten together just briefly previous to that with Ted Summer and Ceiling Fan Man and just a couple other people in Washington, but I'd not really been at any kind of major event. And that was just so exciting to me. And I we should have asked that question this time. I didn't even think to do it. I was having a good time.
But there were some people, I did run into a few people that told me it was their first time at an event or a meetup like this. So I definitely got some more cherries.
Right? Oh, you're such a bad influence. Oh man, and I just love the How the World Works table that Zach and Cammie have going on, and it's always just fascinating, and to see the passion that they have for it. It is again, it's joy. That's the look on everybody's faces, right? It's just joy. The one thing for sure, well, again, the two things, several things we saw, right? So nobody looking down at their phone, nobody. Again, other than one person wearing a mask. And of course, these are people who regularly don't wear masks. So if there should have been, a super spreader event, Flattoberfest would have been it. And certainly this one as well. Nobody's sick, of course. And, but the other thing that, what we don't see any of, was in these times where, of anybody, right, our group should be the most affected by, and yet no one was, and that is afraid. There was no fear of any kind. It was pure joy. I love that. Right? I mean, consider the circumstances. It was shitty travel circumstances for everybody. Those who drove in encountered, I don't know what kind of wrath of gods that was on Thursday night. Right? Thunderstorm and tornado warnings and God, who knows what all going on. It was crazy.
Yeah. My house, all the alarms were going off around. It was like, wow. I was like, oh boy, everybody was freaking out. I was like, I've heard this a bunch of times. It's okay. Just don't worry about it. It's all good. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's just really windy and really rainy. And then it'll make a mess. And then tomorrow it'll be like the sun will come out and it'll be do, 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 with the little birds. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep. And it did. And so, yeah, that was the amazing thing. So after all that, well, I was going to say, so crappy travel for everybody. And then those who had to fly had to put up with all the nonsense. And you know what I'm talking about, is that garbage. And it's so clear and so plainly obvious just in the language that's used and the behaviors has nothing to do with the presumed pathogen. Because, of course, if there really was a pandemic, the airports wouldn't be open. Duh.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't need PR, and it wouldn't need to say, "Oh, it's another variant. Oh, it's another variant." Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, so yeah, really crappy circumstances and all this stuff that happens during travel, and it's not free to get in. It certainly represents a substantial investment, both in terms of time and energy and finances and all the stuff that goes with travel to get there, right? So it should have been, and then we're the most ostracized of pretty much anybody right now, is we're the lepers. Right, the modern lepers, that we're unclean. Unclean. Don't talk to those people. They'll infect you with their crazy ideas. Oh, man. Oh, Paul, PRD came home to a flooded basement. Oh, man, that sucks. He was so helpful, too, man. We were scrambling to get all of the gear for the musicians and stuff. Backline, Backline is the rental stuff, right? The keyboards and amplifiers and those kind of things. We didn't have several things that we'd asked for in terms of bass amplifiers and guitar amps and stuff. They just didn't never make it. And so we were scrambling, and some of the stuff was not working well. And so we were sending people out to Guitar Center and stuff. And so anyway, Paul was he was nice enough to run out for us and grab some stuff, and everybody again was just super helpful, had the best attitude, right? As you know, right, you've been around musicians and artists, right? There's this strange combination of ego and insecurity, right? That you do something well, but you always think you suck at it, right? Because you always want to be better at it, and you appreciate the approbations of people and the applause that you get, but on the other hand, you don't want to become addicted to it, right? And you don't want to be that guy. So it's just this weird combination. So when you play, there's always, especially for the first time with other people, there often can be, egos and weird stuff, right? And pecking order. Man, that didn't happen at all. We had a ball. We just, everybody just wanted to play. We just wanted to spend time together. For most of us. At a minimum, nobody had played with anybody else for over a year. And some of us, like myself, I hadn't played with anybody for 6-7 years. So it was just a delight. I'm just glowing still. Couldn't have had a better time. And that's just the surface stuff, right? I haven't even gotten to the really deep, meaningful things.
Rob the Truth, I hope you had a good time. I remember seeing you.
Who's that?
Rob the Truth drove from Ohio, got there late Friday. Yeah. Rob the Truth calls into Jeranism and stuff sometimes. He's a cool dude.
I was surprised. Allison Briscoe, Allie B, was kind of back and forth waffling on coming, and then finally she, I thought she was coming, and then from her emails, I thought she didn't make it. I thought she was just watching the stream. She said she thought my head would have been smaller. I was like, what? I have a big head? What? How did that happen? I try to be humble. What, man? Anyway, then she says, no, she was there. And we, smiled and nodded at each other a couple of times. I'm like, why, you didn't come over and say hi? Oh, dear. Oh, so here's another one that I had this awkward moment. So you'll love this. Mm-hmm. All right. So I had back and forth been emailing with UAP from UAP channel. Right, and he was threatening to come and sit in on the jam session.
I thought I heard rumors about that, but he wasn't there, right?
Well, okay, so he was, scheduled over. He said he was going to come and sit in. So all good. We kind of were looking for him, but of course, as it was all kind of chaotic, right? Trying to get everything to work out. It's like, oh my gosh, and so I'd asked that everybody, if you could try to make it Friday for a sound check, if not at least on Saturday check in, right? So I know you're there, and we'll try to get you plugged in so we know who's playing what, and we can set up for that. And so everybody did that. It worked out really well. We got multiple players up there and kind of rotated a little bit. It was a lot of fun. And so at some point, and I can't recall exactly what time it was, but I think it was either just before or it was after. I think it was after the jam session and before ODD, kind of in that gap there. Somebody had come up, and I was sitting there at the tech table with Nathan from Commercial Sound Video, and shout out to Nathan, who is freaking awesome, man, in every possible way. The guy has not only the best attitude and just is so great to get along with. So such a great servant. I mean, is the right word. I mean,
he's great.
And does a terrific job, right? Under the most challenging of circumstances, right? So
I'll be honest, these events wouldn't happen really without his help.
Absolutely.
They wouldn't.
Yep, absolutely. And in fact, he and I had got opportunity to converse, and again, I'm going to try to help out more with more of these, right? And lend the expertise I have in trying to do more of this, and all over the place, because to me, again, this is the one of the best things that we can do. People always say, well, what do we do? Right? And I think this is part of it. What do we do? Get together, right? Support one another. again, one of the major things that occurred to me in terms of the quality of people that we're dealing with here is how after the gathering on the 20th in Shelton, was one of our own, which is Tommy Paint. We didn't say that at the time, but it's Tommy Paint, and he's a super guy. He's got a great attitude, and he had kind of a run of things happen. A tree fell over and landed on both of his pickup trucks, which are his work trucks, and he's a handyman by trade, and so that slowed him down on work. And then he had a back injury and wasn't able to work further. And then of course all the pandemic stuff and all things involved with that, he just wasn't able to get income. So facing troubles like everybody is, but he also, he'd made these stabs, right? And I saw he made one for Ceiling Fan Man. I said, wow, that's really cool. I'm a little jealous of that. Well, about 4 or 5 hours later, Ceiling Fan Man texts me back and says, okay, I have one for both you and your wife. I'm like, what? What just happened? So he had already put them together just that quickly. And he makes these really cool stabs, and they're like leather bound, and they're just amazing, off the hooks. And so he was going to come out to the thing, and he did at Shelton. And Ceiling Fan Man said, hey, why don't you bring some of those stabs out? Maybe you can sell them, right? And get a few bucks to cover your cost of gas and everything. He's like, hey, great idea. So he came out, and then he just gave them all away. I'm like, that's our boy, right? That's why we love Tommy Paine. So, Ceiling Fan Man told me that afterwards. He goes, I feel kind of bad, right? I feel like I, told him to bring his stuff out, knowing I should have known, right? That he would have done that instead of selling it. And so we just said, hey, let's, pass the hat for him. And so, having mentioned it last week, I had no sooner gotten it out of my mouth that people started donating, and without even knowing for whom or for what, people were. All you knew was that it was one of our own who needed some help, and he just started responding right away. And then it kept doubling every time I was about to say, okay, we're done, and then I'd get another donation that just doubled what we had before, and it's remarkable. And then Dr. Law at this event, he spent 2 full days, like all the time. I mean, oh my gosh, I thought I was busy. Man, he's. Mm-hmm. Wow, making amazing food, and then took all the donations and gave them to some more of our family who needed help. You guys are the fucking best, man. I got the feels, man. Mm-hmm. I've never seen anything like it.
$1,000 raised over $1,000 for the Trinities,
man. Yeah, and in these times.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. This is why, again, we're the best, and it's not being conceited or egotistical. It's just a recognition that these are the finest people around, and I'm so delighted and so honored to be a part of the community. And I've told you. As recently as my last message to you before this morning, which is I'm just so honored to be counted among your friends, and it's been again life-changing for me to be a part of this community since I joined and began sharing stuff, meeting people. I was surprised, right? So many people that came and that I talked to over the weekend. Are regular, listeners and members here, but they don't talk as much, right? They're not really in the chat very much, and they don't really comment, and haven't really sent any emails. And so, those are the folks that they come regularly, or they listen afterwards. Or they listen to the replays. They're not in the, not in the live stream. But getting to meet you guys and to hear your stories was profoundly moving to me, and. Again, I'm so honored to be a part of your life and a part of the community, and again, spending time with the cool kids over at Bob and Cammy's on Sunday morning was such a great delight, right? And I, as soon as I got home, I was like, oh fuck, I want to be back there. I want to be hugging these people again. To say a special thing is, would again be an incredible understatement and a disservice to it. And I just have to, again, hats off to you, Karen, for putting this together and having the temerity and the courage, right, and the drive to do it, because it is not easy. And I know what's involved in doing it, and it is it has been so helpful and healing, I think, for all of us in this community. So
Mhm.
really can't thank you enough for your efforts.
Well, thank you for being a part of it. Everybody thanked me so much, and I was just glad you guys all showed up. Hey, there's Nathan. Hey, commercial sound and video.
Hey, buddy, man. Thanks for being my chauffeur and my hangout buddy and all the work that you did. And again, I felt bad just like I did before, like, oh my gosh, I didn't roll enough cables, or I felt like I didn't do enough, but I was all over, all over the place. I couldn't even figure out my own schedule. It was retarded. What was your favorite? Well, let's say favorite. Let's your memorable moments from this weekend, Karen.
Memorable moments. Well, the balloons getting stuck in the trees.
Epic. So for those who weren't there,
All right. The big glow balloons, that there was a whole big production about getting all the glow balloons and making them fly off with a bunch of flat earth swag, and then they got stuck in the trees.
epic. I mean,
one of them did and never made it out. The other one, some of our group rescued.
right. Oh man.
That was fun. Yeah. And then I don't know, the park was fun. That was a good time. The whole day at the park. That was good. And then
yeah, the park was super fun with all the dogs running around. Was really cool until they a couple of them ran afoul of each other. But the balloons. People were barbecuing. That was really really cool. Nathan again had his radio controlled airplane out there with the.
That's right. That said the solar return celebration. It had the little message flag flying behind it.
Yep.
Some people didn't even realize it was a little RC plane. They were like, "I thought that was real."
Well, it kind of looks like it. It's a scale model, right? So at a distance, it's all difficult to tell. And I made some coffee and green buttered coffee, and we certainly enjoyed that. Except for David Weiss did not. Well, he enjoyed the coffee. He didn't enjoy the after effects. Yeah, he says I roofied him, but I didn't take advantage of that other than for humor's sake. And then.
He's a little dramatic.
Yes, a little bit. And then, of course, the word got to me early the next day, before even he did, that he had a return and had a little flashback at 2 a.m. And he got stavelied all over again. I guess when it comes in coffee, it's Baldini'd. And Travis got Baldini'd as well. He had a cup of the coffee. And again, at first, he was extremely complimentary about the nature of the coffee and its texture, because it's kind of fluffy. It's a coffee cloud, if you will, when done properly. And then, of course, the after effects, he was like, blink, blink. I'm like, oh, kids, I had 6 of those coffees and 15 gummies, lightweights. And I couldn't get Brian Stavely to go to breakfast after the event. I was like, put on your big boy pants. What's wrong with you? Oh, dear. So I gave David Weiss a hard time about coffee thereafter, and I probably always will. It probably won't endear me to him anymore, but oh, back to the UAP story. Oh my God, I got totally sidetracked. All right, so so we're expecting UAP, right, at some point, but in between, and I think again it was between after the jam session before ODD. So I'm sitting there at the tech table. That's where I brought up with Nathan, and we went off on how cool Nathan was. But this guy comes up, and it comes up behind me, and he says, "Hey, can I do a rousing rendition of Star Spangled Banner?" And I was like, no. We're like really tight on time, and just random person trying to jump in, and I mean, appreciate the offer, but again, would have been happy to put somebody in for the jam session or whatever and try to get somebody plugged in, but just to take the time without being expected, right? It's difficult to do. We get some strange requests. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I had some guy ask me if he should be on stage. I was like, no, why? Why would you need to be on stage?
Yeah, there was a guy, and again, bless his heart, he was a lot of fun on Friday, and then Saturday, I think he just had a little too much entertainment, as sometimes happens. And when we were trying to get Chief Crow dialed in and ready, kept trying to play the drums. And so I was like, did somebody ask you to play the drums? She's like, no. Why did you think you should? Anyway, there was an awkward moment there, but he was very nice, and there's no problem. So yes, back to UAP. Yes, okay, Natalie. So this guy says again, can I do the Star Spangled Banner? And I was like, no, and I wasn't trying to be mean, right? I said, no, we just like the time, and he's like, really? I'm like, well, yeah, and so then he's like, oh, okay, and he got up and left, and at the time again, you know how things are. We're all in the middle of it. And then it wasn't until, I was between flights. I was in the layover between Houston and Seattle. And I was going back through my head, kind of, trying to process everything. And then I was thinking, oh, well, UAP never showed up. And then I thought, oh, my, was that guy UAP? And was that because I could just totally see that being part of his sense of humor, right? Like, hey, can I do the Star Spangled Banner, right? Uh-huh. And I didn't really spend enough time to say, I probably would have recognized him, but maybe not, right? And so I was like, I'm feeling really bad, right? Going, oh my gosh, did he just say, because I said, no. Right. So like maybe he expected me to know that was him. Of course, he didn't. I mean, I would have expected if it was UAP, he would have said, well, I'm UAP. Right. And so I was like, but I was feeling really bad going, oh, my God, UAP now thinks I'm a total asshole. Right. And then I was like, well,
that's what he looks like because he's shown his face on his channel. He does conversational live streams and stuff.
I know, but I don't watch very often, not enough to really have.
I know you
have
don't.
It really have clicked, right? But it could have been, right? I mean, except that, and so I was having this thing, right, about how I felt really bad because it's part of my ethos, right, not to prefer one person over another because of status or, I mean, everybody bows down to the guy with a bunch of money, but they're the ones who oppress us, right? And so I take it as being. It's against my way to be like that. And so I was feeling bad. And I thought, well, on the other hand, right, we did ask is that people check in and make themselves available to be in the jam session. So anyway, and then, but then I saw when I looked back through the chat log that UAP did not make it. He was threatening, but at the last minute couldn't. So it wasn't. But it's still, I had that moment, that crisis of, confidence and conscience of, I should have given the guy a little bit more time and asked him what was going on. But it was, a bit intrusive in the moment. The expectations are weird. People have expectations often that are somewhat unrealistic, right? Some of them recognize it, right? They'll come up to us, those of us who do programs, and they've spent a lot of time with us, from their end, but they don't chat or send us email, and so we don't really know them, and so they have us at a bit of a disadvantage, and so there can be sometimes expectations that are unrealized by both people in that exchange, right? But most people, that's so again, something I noticed is that most people were super accommodating of everybody, right, in time. In fact, I even had people, like Allison Briscoe, who just said, well, you were just really busy. I didn't want to bother you. I'm like, bother me? What are you talking about? That's why I'm there, right? I wanted to meet people. Yes, I'm going to be busy all the time, but don't let that stop you from coming over. I mean, oh, dear. All right, so back to memorable moments. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm having an ADD morning, can you tell?
Yeah, that's okay. So am I, because I didn't even realize it until you reminded me. What other memorable moments? I don't know. I just liked watching everybody play, all the bands play, because pretty much, I just threw the event that I wanted to be at. So
yeah, it was
really with everything that was there. I mean, it's, I don't,
Yeah, no, I
really
do know.
liked Jason playing. He's great singing and guitar. He's so great. And then all of you together, like that was the best. And then of course, One Big Love. I've seen them a bunch of times and I've had them at my
It
event
was
a bunch of times,
terrific.
but I love them too. And ODD, of course, it was great to have him come play. It
That
was
was
the first
awesome.
time he like, officially did an event, you know?
He crushed, man.
So, and of course Chief Crow, man.
And-
I was just super happy the whole day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't complain.
And I fanboyed over Chief Crow. I don't, never do that. I worked with many famous people, and I just, we're all in the same business. But I just like his work, and I did before we met, and just his again, his attitude and his I don't know. It just he's got a great vibe to him. I'm a big fan now. Of course, it didn't hurt that he asked me to play with him. That was a lot of fun, and of course, an honor for me. And he gave me the status afterwards of being an honorary earthworm, flat earthworm, and so I proudly accept that my wormly status.
Well, look at Nathan. Bob said it was too loud again. Well, you know what? Bob's not in charge.
Yeah, if it's too loud, you're too old. Or it's too loud. I don't know, but no, I had a great time, and I mean, it's I just don't have enough superlatives for it because there's so many aspects to it, right? Again, I'm sure we're preaching to the choir to those who were there. And I see a lot of you who were there. And for those who weren't, I'm not trying to rub it in, right, and saying, nah, we got to go. Although I think there's a little part of me. Yeah, there's a little bit there. But just super, super fun making coffee for people, right, and then getting to meet what?
Yes,
Yeah.
Isn't that what earplugs are for? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
For. They make them for that purpose exactly. But
Look.
you're never gonna please everyone.
I'm gonna bring some. Next time we'll bring some.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure we have a bowl of them.
No, just for Bob though.
Oh, right. Okay. The Bob plugs. There you go. That's perfect. Oh man. I got to meet Brown Dog. So I changed the original flight. They had me scheduled laying over in D.C. and I just did not want to be there in that vibe. It was already bad enough to be around that kind of ugh. Right, and again, it's so plainly obvious and so overt. It's entirely about obedience. It has nothing to do with any pathogen, of course. Like I said, if it was, they'd have shut down travel altogether. That's entirely about compliance. So I didn't want to do that. So they offered to swap the flight without a change fee, and so I did change it to Houston with a 3.5 hour layover, so I could hang out with Trey. Really, I wanted to meet Brown Dog, so I did. Brown Dog is cool. Trey is, Trey is Trey. What am I going to say about that? There's not much more I can say about Trey. I mean, I love the guy. Anyway, let's see. Gosh, there's so many things again. I just
Shirt.
Oh yeah, so the shirts, man. I saw since some months back when I first uttered the words "fuck the fucking fuckers." I had no idea it would grow such legs, and boy, has it. The number of FTFF shirts that I saw was pretty remarkable, and thanks to you, Scooter Orr, for cranking those things out and silk screening those shirts. I now have a couple of them, and I'm going to set us up so here in the coming weeks. To keep us entertained, I'll start sending some of those shirts out to folks. We'll just we'll make it prize worthy. Yeah, because Young Love, see, she didn't get it. She didn't have the money for a shirt. We'll make sure you guys get shirts. I'll pay off Scooter. We'll get you going. So you too can have a shirt that says what we're all thinking. It's just fucked
Maybe I
up.
should put FTFF on the solar return shirt.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Little hashtag.
put it on the back.
Yes.
The back.
Absolutely. That was
Okay, think about that. I need to have somebody proof my T-shirt designs before I approve them.
yeah, or people get left off. Mark Sargent. That's funny stuff. And you can get 2 for twice as much. That's right, Bob. For sure. Oh, I found out that one sick tuck is not a guy. So there's that. I was like, hey, bro. I mean, what's this? But I don't know. Oh dear. Oh, okay. So here's one that I would be remiss if I didn't mention, which was the Hug Fest. Oh man, I have been deprived of hugs for quite some time, and I was going to say no more, but that's not true. I'm still feeling a few short. I woke up this morning specifically thinking, gosh, I wish I was still there in South Kakalaki, soaking in more of those hugs. Again, being around that quality of people with the energy that was flowing, and to physically absorb it, man. Oh dear. This is why it's so important to get together, and this is why I want to see these things happen all over the country and indeed all over the world. Is people to get together in groups and just celebrate life and celebrate being together. Again, the thing that I did not see anywhere was fear. That there was such joy in life, right? And so to those people who are like naysayers and trolls and haters and those, enemies of truth, they're just misguided people or paid opposition or, I don't care if you're on the Council of 13, I know you're listening. So listen to this. You will never prevail against us, ever. Because light will always overcome darkness, and love will always overwhelm hatred. And in the end, love will always win. So we might ignore you, we might despise you, we might even pity you, but you can be certain of this: we do not, nor will we ever fear you, or worship you, or respect you ever. So, fuck you, fucking fuckers. A lot of you. Don't ever threaten me with a good time. So, yeah, I don't expect those who are not of our tribe to get it anymore. Neither do I feel compelled anymore even to try. Not that people shouldn't, but my job at this point, I think, is to try to support you guys, us, as much as possible. And to that, I'm committing myself. And again, I expect, Karen, that you will see me in your neck of the woods fairly soon. We'll see what happens when I go back to work, if that actually happens. We'll see how that flies. Yeah, some things necessary to cause that to occur. We'll let you know. Oh dear. All right, so we're coming in for a landing. Any final words, or again, I'm probably not done. I'll probably have some more dumb insights and shout outs that I want to give on Thursday. But in the interim, shout outs or comments or thoughts that you want to share.
Just a shout out to everybody that came, everybody that was present that day and was part of it, because that's what makes these things a success. So just make sure you tell all your friends how much fun you had and tell them to come with you next time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, that's so much a part of it is again, not just fun, but the energy you get from it. And I love seeing the people who brought others with them. right? Those who are kind of regulars, but they brought people who are sort of unfamiliar with the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was out on the smoking deck there, and somebody was talking to me, and the person that was with him, like they didn't really know anybody. I take it, and they said, "Oh, are you an internet personality?" And I went, "Oh dear, has it come to this?" My wife is never going to let me live that down.
5 times 1,000. Can't wait to do this at a larger scale. Did you ever see the FEIC conferences? Well, yeah, that's not what I'm doing. But this place where we had this everything was the very same for Flattoberfest, and there was twice the people there. There was twice as many people. For those of you who came to this event and you hadn't gone to the other one, there was twice as many people at Flattoberfest. So
yeah, there was.
If there's not another big conference for 2021 that I know of, then by October that there probably will be, I don't know, that place can accommodate 500 people if we get it again. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but
and
yeah.
I would be remiss. I had somebody ask me about, and I said, yeah, sure, I'll mention that, and then I got so wrapped up, and it was just before getting ready to travel. But somebody interested in putting together a meetup of some kind, and they're just trying to gauge the level of interest in the Colorado Springs area. So if you're in that area, that neck of the woods, or could make it to a meetup of some kind, send me an email, unintended.consequences3@gmail.com. Reach out to me, let me know, and say, hey, I'd be interested in that, and I can pass that along, and so our friend can gauge the level of interest and know how to move forward from there. Also, Chief Crow and I had a little chat at the hotel Sunday morning, and he's also in the Pacific Northwest. He's in Portland, and so as long as I'm here with Ceiling Fan Man and Dottie up in this neck of the woods, we're going to see if we can try to do something in this area as well. It's a bit more challenging with the conditions and the restrictions that still apply, so we're going to figure out how to manage that. But we would like to try to move forward on that before I leave, and have sort of a Flattober West. If we can get that rolling. So, and that would be, try to prove out as a proving ground for, the idea of having many of these conferences or mini events all over the place. So, minis.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Look at what you did. Look at what you started, girl.
Yes.
I think all of us, again, are very, very much in your debt. As we were literally singing your praises.
Gotcha. You guys made me cry.
Well, I hope it was in a good way, because it was very genuine and absolutely sincere. Our appreciation for you and our affection. It is absolutely sincere, Karen. We are so delighted again to be part of this community that you have helped build from the ground up. And the efforts that you have put in are remarkable, and I think really immeasurable. I just I can't really measure the impact. I can see it, right? I can see the impact and the difference that you're making in people's lives, and just hats off to you for, again, your commitment to it, right? And pushing through against all the, to say fuck the fucking fuckers. I love that you don't take any shit. You're such a badass. You're such a badass.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, you gave me those when I was like in the middle of tears. Yes, they're beautiful. Thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for coming.
And Brian Stavely says he's going to do a call-in show later today. Brian, which channel is that going to be on? Stavely 3, 5? Some odd number. I don't know.
57.
Yeah. 9, 9, 11, 11, 11. Yeah, Karen's a honey badger. Honey badger don't give a shit. Honey badger don't give a fuck. Jenny Mikowski. Yeah, it was so great getting to hang out with you. And again, everybody was just, of course, Super Sue Finelli. Rock star. Nachikete, it's great to see you, my friend. It's always a pleasure. Can't wait to be able to, give you a hug in person. And of course, all of our friends like Natalie, who are very far away from us here, but always in our hearts, and of course, always in the chat. We appreciate you very, very, very much. Again, I'll just end with this. Today, you guys are the best, just the fucking best, and I'm so honored and happy to be counted among your friends. And you guys truly are family to me. It's such just a deep pleasure and an honor to get to meet with so many of you this weekend. And boy, I would do it again in a heartbeat. And hopefully real soon, we'll get to reap the rewards of more effort. So let's put in the effort. I know that there's a number of people who are reaching out to me via email and a variety of means to say that they are ready to get their hands dirty. And I love it. So let's do this shit. Fuck the fucking fuckers. Thank you again, Karen, as always, not just for your help and assistance in continuing the tradition of CockyPop here as we try to figure out a new schedule, but also for what you've done in the community and these festivals. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming once again, you guys. I love you guys. We have the best tribe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to let you go this morning, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon, and I will say goodbye for now. Say goodbye, Karen.
Goodbye, Karen.
Goodbye. All right. So, again, the lovely, talented, inimitable Karen B. As always, she makes it, tolerable, certainly. But more than that, she's just a delight. So, again, thank you, everybody, for joining me this morning, as you do. And those who could make it to the Solar Return Festival, thank you so much. And for just being a great part of our lives. And we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody.
1, 2, 3.
Cocks don't poppy, oh, poppycock, cocks do poppy by 4. And that's why all the folks on poppycock keep poppycocks in a jar. But once I met a girl on poppycock back in the poppycock hills, they won't let me back on poppycock, reckon they never will. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. The earth don't spin at all on poppycock, flatter than a hot roadkill. And beer don't stick to balls on poppycock, reckon it never will. Once I met two folks on poppycock, one bald, the other likes cats. She wild as a rosy, quicker than a satellite, no poppycock about that. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Take it, Trey. To block on poppycock, ain't no poppycock pins. You might just find yourself on poppycock, waking with a poppycock kin. And poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Why so freaking early? Poppycock, you and me.